After looking over the views I get on my videos, it's clear my followers want more character-driven content, so I'm going to give you what you want. Today the movie we'll focus on is 2001: A Space Odyssey, and the character will be HAL. Here we are, it's 2025. The long-awaited and predicted artificial intelligence revolution is upon us. Soon, AI will be involved in nearly every aspect of our lives. Will this be good or bad? In 2001: A Space Odyssey, we have a look at how AI may shape our future, and frankly, in this take, it does not look good. This film was released in 1968. Yes, AI was a concept back then. In fact, the concept was nearly a century old by then. It's becoming closer and closer to reality today. This movie could be a warning for us, all of humanity. Speaking of AI, let's talk about the film. Here is a ChatGPT summary of the film. 2001: A Space Odyssey was originally a book by Arthur C. Clarke and directed by Stanley Kubrick in its film adaptation. It's a science fiction masterpiece that explores human evolution, technology, extraterrestrial intelligence. The film is divided into 4 sections. The first section is The Dawn of Man. This story begins millions of years ago with prehistoric hominids struggling to survive. They encounter a mysterious black monolith, which seems to influence their cognitive development. Inspired, they learn how to use tools, making the first leap in human evolution. The film then jumps to the year 2001. Humans have advanced significantly and are now exploring space. A monolith identical to the one from the prehistoric era is discovered buried on the moon. When exposed to sunlight, it emits a powerful signal directed toward Jupiter, prompting a mission to investigate. The spaceship Discovery 1 is then sent to Jupiter, crewed by astronauts Dave Bowman, portrayed by Keir Dullea, Frank Poole, portrayed by Gary Lockwood, and HAL 9000, voiced by Douglas Rain. HAL is an advanced AI system managing the ship. There are also 3 hibernating crew members. HAL begins to display erratic behavior, jeopardizing the mission. It kills Poole and the hibernating crew members, forcing Bowman to deactivate it in dramatic fashion. Reaching Jupiter, Bowman encounters another monolith orbiting the planet. He is pulled into a surreal journey through space and time, culminating in his transformation into a star child, a higher form of existence symbolizing the next step in human evolution. The themes of the movie are human progress and its reliance on tools and technology, the potential dangers of artificial intelligence, and the mysterious role of extraterrestrial forces in shaping humanity's destiny. The narrative's ambiguity invites interpretation, leaving viewers and readers to ponder humanity's place in the universe and the nature of its evolution. I want this video to be about the film's AI HAL, but I need to provide context by explaining the monolith found in the movie. There are 4, one for each section of the movie. It's a black box that is, in meters, 1 by 4 by 9, or 1 squared by 2 squared by 3 squared. In the Dawn of Man sequence, the monolith is a teacher. It teaches the proto-humans to use tools, mainly to turn the femur of a tapir into a weapon and use it to kill the leader of a rival tribe. On the moon, the monolith is a communications device. Curious humans in our day find it buried on the moon. They excavate around it, and when sunlight hits the monolith, it sends a loud audible signal in the direction of Jupiter. This is a monolith signaling to the alien race who put it there that man has evolved to the point where they can travel in space. Around Jupiter, the monolith is a stargate which transports David Bowman to the homeworld of the aliens who created the monoliths. The Stargate sequence is the most famous psychedelic scene in motion picture history. Many went to see the movie just for that scene. On the homeworld of the aliens, in another famous psychedelic scene, Bowman watches himself age, trapped in a Victorian-era hotel room. As he is about to take his final breath, the 4th monolith appears above his deathbed. He touches it and is transformed into a space child, watching Earth from above. HAL 9000 is an AI meant to support the mission, and probably the only one of those who are awake who knew what the mission was. HAL was a supercomputer on a spaceship. 2001 had a lot of successful future predictions, but this is something we're still not able to do. We can't shrink a supercomputer down to the size where it would fit on a spaceship. Sure, there could be a supercomputer in Houston communicating with the ship, but that's how we run space missions today. There's a problem with that if you're going to go farther away than the moon. It takes 34 minutes for communications to get from the spaceship to Earth if it's around Jupiter. That would certainly slow down the computations of any supercomputer. HAL is not the first AI in motion pictures. Machines with human-like intelligence was a concept in fiction as early as the 1860s. But it can be argued that the ancient Greeks had the first depictions of artificial intelligence. Telos in ancient Greek mythos was an artificial being. Samuel Butler's novel Erewhon was the first to consider that machines could evolve to develop human-like thinking. In motion pictures, the first AI depiction came from the silent German film Metropolis in the form of a robot named False Maria, or as it was called in the movie, a Maschinenmensch, or machine woman. This AI image was based upon a teacher in the film named Maria. Both were portrayed by actress Brigitte Helm. Many early AIs were either dystopian or utopian, depending on whether the story was optimistic or pessimistic. One science fiction author, Isaac Asimov, was critical of this view. He said that there were too many at one extreme or the other. Either you had a Deus Ex Machina or a Frankenstein's monster. Asimov came up with the 3 rules of robotics in the short story Runaround, released in 1942. They are: first, a robot may not injure a human being or through inaction allow a human being to come to harm. Number 2, a robot must obey the orders given to it by human beings, except where such orders would conflict with the first law. And number 3, a robot must protect its own existence as long as such protection does not conflict with the first or second law. By the time Space Odyssey was released, we had some AIs that were neither a god nor Frankenstein's monster. Robbie the Robot, Rosie from the Jetsons, and the robot from Lost in Space were among the few from movies and the many from television. HAL broke the rules of robotics. He murdered 4 astronauts. But why? In the second part of the film, we meet Dr. Heywood Floyd. In this film, he is portrayed by William Sylvester. He is the chair of the United States National Council of Aeronautics. Why is it called that? Simply because NASA didn't give their permission. It was he who organized the Discovery 1 mission. Floyd was the one who put HAL on his destructive course. In the sequel, 2010, the year we made contact, Floyd is now portrayed by Roy Scheider, the bigger boat guy from Jaws. Here we find out it was he who sent the order to HAL to prioritize a mission above all else and break Asimov's laws of robotics. It was not HAL's fault. HAL is just a computer. However, if HAL had been programmed to protect the crew according to Asimov's laws of robotics, then the movie would have had a different ending. Imagine this: as an EVA craft approached a Monolith with Bowman or perhaps someone else inside, HAL would have suspected the danger and stopped the EVA. The mission at that point could not have gone forward with HAL being connected. HAL would have been disconnected anyway, and the film could have ended with all 5 astronauts transforming into star children instead of just 1. But we still have a legal question to resolve. In the end of the film, we have 4 dead astronauts. They were murdered. Who is responsible? Well, in the sequel, HAL is redeemed. We realize that HAL's murderous rampage was a result of a command given by Dr. Floyd. Laws are clear. Computers are inanimate. They would not be held responsible for killing someone. Therefore, HAL is innocent. The person who programmed the computer is guilty. But as a cybersecurity engineer, I have a different take. I don't think Floyd was completely responsible either. Perhaps he could be charged with negligent homicide, but Dr. Chandra, HAL's programmer, would have been partially responsible as well. There are two extremes when people talk about artificial intelligence. First, there are those who think it will end scarcity, and there are those who think it'll idle everyone, and we'll all be fighting over the scraps. I think it'll be somewhere right in the middle. We can't idle the entire population. People will get bored and anxious. I think it'll come to a point where there could be enough of the population on guaranteed basic income struggling to survive that civil unrest will break out. That will happen long before AI takes everyone's job. The Star Trek Deep Space Nine two-part episode, Past Tense, is how I see future civil unrest playing out if there are too many people who can't find jobs due to AI. I hope we never get there. Even though a lot of people see AI as being less expensive than real employees, there will be unforeseen expenses and unintended consequences. There will always be vulnerabilities and hackers to deal with. Therefore, some jobs may go away, but not all of them. Humans will have to make adjustments. I am confident we will figure things out. For most of us, we will find a way to manage. In the movie, there is a scene where HAL and Poole play chess. Later, after Bowman attempts to retrieve Poole's body, Bowman finds himself trapped outside Discovery in an EVA pod without a helmet. HAL thought he had checkmated Bowman, but Bowman found a way inside the ship. That is one of the coolest sequences I have ever seen in a movie. If you have not seen the film, I highly recommend it. And by the way, the use of music in this movie is also masterful. I've seen all but two of Kubrick's films. This is better than The Shining or Full Metal Jacket, but that's just my opinion. One thing we have to consider with AI becoming a bigger part of our lives is how do we protect human life and dignity? Who would be responsible for murder if an AI kills someone? It's going to happen sooner or later. Perhaps an upcoming episode of Law & Order could deal with that. We are on the cusp of artificial intelligence. Artificial sentience? Well, we're a long way from that. It is important that we think about and make laws around dealing with the legal and moral consequences of AI. We should do that now rather than later. Douglas Rain's portrayal of HAL is absolutely brilliant. He must voice his lines without showing any emotion in his voice. I think that the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences should give an Oscar for the best voiceover performances. They should also recognize past performances in this category, starting with Adriana Caselotti in Snow White up to the present day. Rain should be awarded an Oscar for his portrayal of HAL. Neither the film nor the book it is based on describe the alien race in detail. It's not seen on camera. This was a decision by Stanley Kubrick. He wanted the alien race to be represented by the Monolith. This is not the only science fiction film where such a choice has been made. We don't know what aliens may look like because we've never seen one. But there was one study published by Oxford 8 years ago that theorizes that aliens may in fact look like us. See the link below. If you believe in the Bible, and you believe that man was created in the image of God, and you also believe in life on other planets, then wouldn't it be logical to conclude that the dominant beings on other planets were also created in the image of God? It might make sense to some of you, but to others, that's heresy. Speaking of heresy, I will stay in the realm of science fiction for my next few episodes. We'll discuss the Planet of the Apes, the original version. I'll ask the question, when should Taylor have figured out that he was on Earth? It's a question that has to be asked. The episode after that will discuss Beneath the Planet of the Apes. and I will discuss the bomb-worshipping cult we find at the end of the film and religion. Then I will discuss Plan B from Interstellar. I hope you will enjoy these episodes as well. Please remember to subscribe, like, comment, and share, and help me build this channel. In the meantime, remember that all intelligent creatures dream.